What's up, guys? Today is the third video that we're making on the vlog. So first off, I want to say thank you to all the people that have subscribed to my channel, for all the likes and comments. Wow, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. But can you guys guess what day it is today? It is Shout Out Saturday. So I have a bunch of people here who want shout outs. So by the way, for people who want shout outs, I have no problem doing them, but people are messaging from either in the comments with YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. So I guess I'm gonna ask everybody, if you want to shout out, just message on Facebook. That way it's a little bit easier. We don't have to go to Instagram, Facebook, write everything down, if that's okay with you. If not, it's fine. So starting out with, I have a list here of people that want shout out. So Pina, a shout out to Pina. Thank you for subscribing. Rose, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Roseanne, we have a Roseanne too. So Roseanne, thank you. Evelyn, shout out for Evelyn. Thank you, Evelyn. Gerald, thank you so much. And another thing is, guys, I am not using last names. Some of the subscribers did have their last names. I'm not going to use them, so I hope you guys are okay with that. Monique, a shout out for Monique. Nelma, Brandon, Joanne, another Rose. So two Rose, a Randall, a William, and a Max. As far as I know, I think I got them all. I don't think I'm missing any. Oh, Uniquely as well. I think you messaged me or left a comment. Thank you. I appreciate it. So with that being said, what we're gonna do, guys, is every Saturday, if there's somebody that wants a shout out, we'll do them all. We'll write them all down during the week, and Saturdays is Shout Out Saturdays at Modern Talk and Adventures. So today's video is gonna be more about on a serious note. So because I've been getting calls from friends, and I shouldn't say from friends. I've had one incident of somebody calling me. I've heard of these things that are happening with the pandemic and stuff. So we'll talk about a couple of things: how it's affected people mentally, how it has affected people's moods, and of course the economy, right? So people are falling behind on their bills because due to layoffs. Anyway. So the first thing we'll talk about is businesses or employers, employees, whichever, right? So as a business owner, I know how hard it is. People only see the good. They only see when you are doing well. They say, oh yeah, you're doing so good. Good for you guys. You're working, you're making so much money. But they don't see how hard you've worked to get to that. And when I mean how hard you worked to get to that, I mean the mental stress, the physical stress, the unknown. You start a business and it's an unknown. You're rolling the dice because you don't know. Unless you have a written contract, and even that can go bad. So yeah, it's something to think about wanting to start a business. My recommendation, well, you know what? I shouldn't say that, my recommendation, because let me take that back, because I'm not here to give advice. But I said I have had a prior business to this business I have now, and I really struggled with both of them to get going. But I was a lot smarter the second time around. I would never, ever start a business if I don't have at least 6 months of money to cover my overhead, my living, and my commercial rent. No way. I would never put myself through that stress. I've done it and I'll never do it again. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. Wow. So anyhow, as a business owner, I know how hard it is to get clientele, especially now. There's so many people that are out there. It is such a cat eat cat world, so to speak. Lots of competition out there for a lot of different things, right? So cutthroat, I guess, is what I should say. But anyway, nevertheless, I went for a walk here in the city of Calgary. I was downtown, and I was in a couple other areas that had a lot of mom and pop shops, and I seen a lot of signs for businesses going out of business. Final closing sale. I even seen one sign going out of business for good. They had for good on there, and it's really disappointing to see that, because I know how hard these people worked. Nobody just gave them the money to start a business and then it went good without putting any effort into it. Or even if somebody did give them the money to keep the business afloat, you have to put effort into it or it doesn't last. It's this or that. So don't ever think that, oh, it's so easy, these people are doing nothing, they're getting money for free. No, it doesn't work like that. Don't be naive like that. But anyway, nevertheless, sorry for rambling on here, guys, and getting off topic, but it really hurts to see that. Because first thought, am I gonna be next? Is my sign gonna hang in my window next? I've worked very hard for what I have. So that is very hard. So, and now if a business closes, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, now this is a domino effect, because now the supplier that these guys get supplies from, they don't have that sale. The people they employ, the families of the people that they employ, where do they get their next meal from? So it's very hard. It's such a bad thing to see a business closing down. Especially, I've seen restaurants that have been in business for 8-9 years. Restaurants that they say that the restaurant is the hardest business. I've never owned one. I have a few friends that own restaurants, and they're saying they're lucky to do 10%. 10%, guys. That's insane. 10%. And these restaurants have been in business for 10-15 years. And they have to close their doors. It's very sad. Anyway, enough about that. I'm not here to depress you. I'm just here to give you the understanding of when you walk into a business, especially now. I mean, I don't mind if people barter. I actually appreciate that, because you know what, and as you should, and you should try and get the best price, but be fair with the business owners. Don't expect the business owners to give you something to a fair profit for them, a fair price for you. Don't forget, they have to pay their suppliers, they have to pay their rents, they have to keep the lights on, guys, for you to come there and shop, or for you to come there and make that purchase. So, anyway, nevertheless, so now we've covered that, and my heart goes out to all the businesses that had to close. I'm really sorry for your loss. It is, I know it's hard. I really know it is. Now to bounce back, it's gonna be. Anyway, nevertheless, let's move on to people that have lost jobs, people that are facing maybe on top of their job loss, maybe an accident in the family, maybe a fatality. You never know, right? There's all kinds of things happening. So anyway, people that have, that are in a state of mind where they can't see in or out or up or down, right? That's very scary. So bottom line is, guys, if you see somebody struggling, that has, they're depressed, they're sitting at home. Some people get depressed because they can't go to the gym. Some people get depressed because they can't go out with friends and go to restaurants. And I mean, they have open restaurants here now with restrictions. So that is open now, but some people get really depressed because they can't go to gym. And we live in Canada. The weather is not always permitting you to go out and run or cycling or whichever, right? So I guess what I'm saying is, guys, if you know somebody, take the time, take them for a walk, take them out for a coffee. If it's a good friend of yours and you're like, it doesn't even have to be a good friend. If you know that person and you trust that person that you can sit down and eat a meal with that person and you can afford it and you have a good job, you're one of the few that has a really good job during this pandemic, and it hasn't affected you, take the time, guys, to take these people out and say, hey, you know what? I see you need it. Let's go for a glass of wine. Let's go for a meal. Let's go for a burger. Let's go for a Tim's. Let's go for whatever you want. Take the time, guys. Help somebody. And you know what? It's not, if it's not about the money for you, of course that person is going to resist it, because when people are like that, they feel, oh, well, I don't want people to help me. I don't want them to know, in what bad a situation I am. Well, be persistent and say, no, I'm coming. I'm taking you out. It's on me, my treat, right? Make that person feel comfortable in wanting to go out with you. Take that time, because when that person recovers and they are a good person at heart, you will have a friend for life. That person will always remember, hey, when I was down and out, you came there for me. And what's better than having that kind of friendship? So anyway, and again, that's just my opinion. I'm not telling people to do that. That's my opinion. Do unto others like how you want them to do unto you. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, bottom line, you get you get what I'm saying at the end of the day, as some would say. But anyway, another thing is for the people who are suffering with these kinds of depressions and these kinds of bad thoughts and dark clouds, you know what? Your friends are not going to look at you in a bad way if you guys reach out to them. Just say, hey man, I need to get out, or hey friend, or whatever. However you want to address them. Just say, look, I need out. I need to get out. I need to either go skiing. We're in the mountains, guys, or close to the mountains. Go skiing for the day. Go snowboarding. Go ice skating. Ice skating costs you $0 if you have a pair of skates. Skiing costs you a few bucks. I understand that money's not always an option, or that it's not always available. I get that, but there's a million things you can do. Go for a walk. Go for a coffee. How much is a cup of coffee going to cost you? If you go to one of those fancy coffee shops, you're probably $5-6. Is that really going to make or break you? No, it's not. You're getting out. You're getting a new perspective. Go see the sunshine. Don't be scared to reach out to your friends. Don't sit there and in some cases I'm sure we've all heard it, and it goes real bad and you get a call and suicide. Nobody wants that. Your family doesn't want that. Now your family is stuck there and they're like, now they're suffering. Now you've sent a domino effect through them. Whereas you could have just reached out to them and said, hey guys, I need help. I need somebody to go out with me. Or even go visit somebody for 3-4 days if they're in your circle. And just say, look man, I need to get away from my place. I'm going crazy. Like I really am. I don't think they're gonna push you guys away. So but always remember, when you do these kinds of things, when people reach out to you, that's why you always have to have that availability. You always treat people right, because you know what? No matter what, if you treat somebody bad or you do a bad thing, and hey, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We all have our flaws. But whenever you do something wrong, you're setting yourself up for failure, because it's coming back. no matter how small, no matter how big. So do that for these people, and for the people who need it, reach out to people. Don't go down a rabbit hole. You know, don't let yourself get pulled into the people that we've lost due to mental health. Don't. And I get it, sometimes people don't want to reach out to friends and family because of their pride, B, they just can't be bothered, or C, they don't want them to know about their issue. Guys, this is not a time to be like that. And I understand, like, I have friends that work in law enforcement. I have friends that work in these call centers. They are stressed out. They are maxed out. They are understaffed. There are high volumes of calls with the psychiatrists that are sitting there. And so I know that's not always available. And if you have something like that, hey, that's good. If you can talk to a psychiatrist, or if you can reach out and talk to somebody, but the hotlines, the distress lines, from what I hear from people that volunteer there, they're maxed out. They're running their whole shift. They're on the phone. They're not sitting there twiddling thumbs. So these things are not always available. So again, don't be shy, guys. And so another thing I want to say is, if there is anybody out there that needs to talk and that needs to, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. I can't say I'll do it that day, but I'm sure I can fit you into my schedule, and I have a busy schedule. But you know what? When somebody's at that point where they really need to talk to somebody, I would take time out of my schedule and say, hey, let's go for coffee. It's on me. I mean, I'll drink tea. I don't drink coffee, but yeah. Send me an email. You know, send me a private message on Facebook, Modern Talk and Adventures. And my Facebook is moderntalkandadventures@gmail.com. Send me an email, guys. I'll do my best to respond or see what we can do to help you. Or even if there is somebody in need that's local, I'll ask my subscribers, hey, can we all get together and give $1 to that person? You know, if you're able to, you're able to, because you'll get it back 100 times. You know, so again, if there is anybody out there, don't be shy. And again, I have a very busy schedule. I'll always try and get back to the emails within a day or a half a day, and then I can see what my schedule is like. And especially if you're local, right? I can take the time and say, hey, let's go for a cup of joe. Let's talk about something. Let's change your perspective on how you think. And again, I'm not a psychiatrist, so please don't think that I can, take your problem away. And sometimes it's just to talk with somebody you don't know. You don't want your family member or your friend to know your what you're going through. Like your issue. I shouldn't say issues, because I don't like that word. We'll say what you're going through at this time, and that's fine. If it could be whatever the reason, doesn't matter. Well, talk to me. I give you my word. How much is it gonna hurt me? It can't. So you know what? There might be a time where I'm down and out, and I'll come on here and I'll say, hey guys, I need some uplifting. I need somebody to come forth and say, hey, do you have time to have a chat, or do you whatever, right? So there. And I would, if I would ever get to that point, I would reach out to my subscribers and say, hey, do you have time for a chat? Fortunately, I have very good friends and extremely good family that I could reach out and say, hey, here I am. And my friends and family would realize that my mood has changed, my behavior has changed, or my habits, my everyday things, the way I do everyday things have changed, and they would not let me get to that point. So I think that with this pandemic, another thing is the gyms. People are, I'm seeing it on Facebook, it on YouTube. I don't have TikTok anymore, so I can't say I'm seeing it there, but so I guess that's the only places I'm seeing it. But I mean, those are the major platforms. But people are really hurting, and I even have friends that say, "Oh man, my anxiety just doubles up when I don't eat healthy and I don't go to the gym." And I am living proof of that. But I used to get anxiety really bad, to the point where I was on prescription medication. I did, guys. I had a really bad anxiety disorder. It was short term, though. It was a chemical imbalance in my brain that balanced itself after a while. Hopefully it never comes back again. I've been off medication for 8 years now. And what I do is, if I do sometimes feel anxiety, I always have a spray on me. You can buy it at the health food store. It's called Rescue Me Remedy. It's made from like herbs and roots, and it's a spray. You spray it in your mouth, you spray it under your tongue, and that's all I need now when I do get in a situation where I feel anxious. And it's not very often, but it does come around. I'm not gonna lie, but it's very mellow. I can control it. So before I couldn't control it, I had to have a medication. Now, thank the good Lord, I don't have to do that anymore. So anyhow, got a little off track there. I don't want to come on here and sound like a doctor or a pharmacist. Again, guys, please, I want you guys to know that I am not on here telling you what to do. This is my experience. I can't stress that enough, because I'm already getting private messages of people saying this and saying that. And yes, it's an opinion. I don't disagree with it. I love constructive criticism because it helps me. It helps me build. You can't go wrong with it. So anyway, again, I'm stressing that. But another thing that I want to talk about is sorry, we didn't finish the gyms. So a lot of people don't want to go, they don't want to go out unless they're going to the gym. They don't want to go and, well, guys, you can take your bicycle, you can go on a path, go for a nice bike ride. I personally am not a cyclist. I do a lot of walking. And since I have been on my I'm not going to call it a weight loss journey. I'm not going to call it a diet. I hate that word. I've done these diets often enough to just, it annoys me for people to even say, "Are you on a diet?" No, I'm not on a diet. I have changed my lifestyle 100%. My sleep, my intake, food intake, everything. So so I am 100% proof of the people that are saying that they're getting, they're feeling better when they're working out. When I eat healthy, when I'm walking, when I'm, being proactive, not just in my work, but in my physical exercise, in my mental health, I feel so good. So I get that people are going through some stress in not going to the gyms. But anyway, you can always go for a walk, go for a nice bike ride. I know the pools aren't open, so I can't say go for a swim. But if the pool's open, and you want something different, you want to change it up, go for a nice swim, However, I get it. It's not easy what is going on. Let's hope it all comes to an end here, guys. If anybody on here has had the vaccine, any of my subscribers, please comment. I would like to know what your what you've went through, how it's worked for you, or sorry, what your side effects were, and how your body reacted with it. Anyway, just throwing that in there. But anyhow, guys, I think as far as the pandemic and the mental health, this is covering everything. Again, I am doing awesome with my eating and keeping on track with the lifestyle that I have committed to, with the very little carbs, no sugars. Today is almost a month and a half. Yeah, I think so. Today's a month and a half ish that I've had no sugar, and I have no cravings that I've known. I have gone to a few restaurants at lunchtime and I've had soups, but I always ask, is there sugar? Is there corn glue syrup? They say no. Some of them do taste questionable, but I try not to. I am doing a huge broth boil here with one of my friends. I'm gonna make a video of it, so I'll show you guys. I got I think it's a 10-gallon pot. It fits on 2 burners on my stove. We're gonna put in 7 birds, and we're gonna boil it for 12 hours, and then we're gonna cane the broths, and we're gonna package it, freeze it, and the canned stuff can just stay in the fridge. So that way at lunchtimes I don't have to go to restaurants and have a soup. I can just steam some veggies, throw that in the broth, have a nice hot broth, because at lunchtime I like a nice hot broth, like something hot, right? I can't just have a cold vegetable. Doesn't work for me. So anyway, I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm trying to think what else I'm wanting to do here. I really wanted to do this video because of what I went through with my anxiety, and I felt so good when I talked to somebody about it, or even if I found somebody else that had anxiety that could understand what I'm going through. It was like, I mean, if I found somebody that had anxiety and I had a good chat with that person, I would be 100 times better for at least a week. At least. And in that week, I could change my train of thought and focus on something else and distract myself from what was happening. And then it was a week, then it was 2 weeks, then it was 3 weeks, then it was 4 weeks, and it kept just going on, and to the point where I would have anxiety 1 week of the month, 2 days of the month, 1 day of the month, every other month. So and I noticed that, so that's why I really wanted to do this video, and I didn't want to do this on my first video or my second video. So anyway, if anybody has any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments, like or dislike, whichever, I respect whatever you do. You can always, for shout outs, please email. It's a little bit easier. I can keep track of it. And every Saturday, for the people who want shout outs, you're gonna get them from Modern Talk and Adventures. I don't think that I don't think I missed anybody. I'm looking at my list here. I really hope I didn't. I'm sorry if I did. If I did, email me again and I'll definitely do it. Again, I didn't use last names because, well, I don't want to, you never know, right? It's for your own protection and mine. So, but anyhow, guys, I think that's it for today. So hopefully I get this out here in the next day or two. Remember, this editing thing is new for me. I've even had somebody in the comments say, hey, turn down your music's too loud. So I'm gonna try and eliminate the music, but I feel like the music blends with my voice, but I'm gonna try and eliminate it. I hope that, you know, for the same person that commented on that, comment again. Let me know what your opinion is without the music. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So with that being said, guys, be kind to one another. It's not hard. And have a good day.